So does anyone remember Dark Rita, or the putty clone of Rita we saw back in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? Well, after that story arc, she kind of disappeared and we never saw her ever again. And I get a lot of comments in my videos, in my comic reviews, of people wanting to know what happened to Dark Rita or Putty Rita, wondering if we'll ever see her again. And funny enough, we actually have seen Putty Rita recently, but it's not in the main story arc. It's actually in the giant hardcover for Necessary Evil Part 2. So, I'm going to go over the mini story that reveals what happened to Rita Repulsa after Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So like I mentioned, we found out what happened to Putty Rita in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Necessary Evil 2 Deluxe Edition, that big hardcover that is really expensive to get. But if you pick it up, you find out what happened to Putty Rita. So, the whole mini story is called The Girl That Was Left Behind, I believe it's called, and it's written by Rachel Wagner. And it tells the story of the Phantom Ranger going to a planet and finding out there's trouble on there. And what he finds is Rita Repulsa, and she's got this sort of clone, this posse that looks like the original gang of evil space aliens. And with the Phantom Ranger confronting her, they get into a fight, and the Phantom Ranger is even confronted by his past, as it seems to be a spell used on him when he sees young Rita and remembers what happened on that fateful day in Edge of Darkness. But the Phantom Ranger is able to get in a good blow, and this is where we find out that this is not the original Rita Repulsa that was sent into space by Lord Zed. This was the Putty Rita. So with Putty Rita defeated, the Phantom Ranger gives her this heart-to-heart talk by offering her to change her evil ways. But because this Putty Rita has all the memories and sort of is the kind of reincarnation of Rita Repulsa, she's got all that emotional baggage with her. But the Phantom Ranger believes that they can change. But when the Phantom Ranger walks out of the jail cell, he finds out that Rita Repulsa, or Putty Rita, was not the true villain of this little planet, and it was actually another diabolical ruler, and the Phantom Ranger realizes that he's made a grave mistake. So he gives Rita, or Putty Rita, the chance to break out of jail, and she takes the opportunity, and together we see the Phantom Ranger and Putty Rita teaming up and sort of saving this planet. And this is where we see Putty Rita turn over a new leaf and become a good guy. So it's a really interesting note to see the Phantom Ranger running into Putty Rita, because this whole comic, or this whole one-shot, takes place probably roughly around Edge of Darkness, or after Edge of Darkness, but it takes place after the Hartarian planet was blown up in Power Rangers in that issue. So it's got an interesting time place with this little one-shot. So you have the Phantom Ranger reuniting with Zordon and sort of giving him the rundown of everything that happened. But it also reveals that Putty Rita is still out there and is now a good guy. So there's the possibility of us running into this character again later down the line in the franchise or in the comics. So you never know. But anyway, guys, what do you think of this one-shot? What do you think of actually learning about what happened to Putty Rita? Do you like this story? Do you not like this story? If you want to check it out, like I said, you can find it online, or you can pick up the hard copy of Necessary Evil Part 2. I definitely recommend checking it out if you want to read this story, because I don't know if it's going to get a reprint later down the line. You never know. But either way, I highly recommend checking it out. So with that said, I think I'm going to bring this video to a close. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out, take care, bye.